How's it going, boys? Welcome back to another episode of the Guinness Book of World Records Gamers Edition. I'm your host, Tyler Ninja Blevins. I love me a good bit of gaming. I like to game. Gaming, it's big right now, believe it or not. I feel like most people like to partake in a good bit of, gaming, whether it be, casual playing Minecraft with some friends or whether it be like competitive playing Rocket League for 8 hours a day for no reason. No matter the case, a lot of people enjoy gaming. And one thing that makes gaming even more fun is variety. Obviously, I could probably play 3 games for the rest of my life and I would probably be okay with it. But I do enjoy trying out new games. The only problem is that games cost money, something most people don't have a lot of, especially gamers, because most of them are unemployed. But don't worry, because there's a solution to this problem. You see, Xbox, the console, they're run by Microsoft, and Microsoft came up with this wonderful idea of Xbox Game Pass. You pay $15 a month, and you get over 100 games to choose from that you can play at any time. It's like Netflix for video games. It's genius. There's a lot of very good games on there, and there's a lot of very bad games as well. Because I enjoy a good variety of games, I've played a lot of games off of Game Pass, and I am here to tell you the best and worst games on Xbox Game Pass. And hey, you should subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video. It lets me know that you want to see more videos like this, and it helps me out a ton. Thanks, now let's get on with the video. Listen, it feels a little unfair to put No Man's Sky in the worst category because it could be a very good game if I weren't playing it on an Xbox. The controls, the amount of functions that you can do in the game feels way better suited for a PC. The graphics, just the entire way the game is built feels like it would be better on PC. I felt confused, I felt laggy, I felt like the game didn't look as good as I thought it should, and I just could never really get the grasp of what the game was, how to do much of anything. And this is a hyped up game upon release, and it got some very negative reviews, although it's been, added to, and people have given it better reviews since, but me personally, I could just never get into it. I tried playing it a few times and just the game was weird, boring, and borderline unplayable because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. The first thing I did was try to figure out how I, get materials to, craft, I think is what I had to do. And then I started overheating, and then I started getting attacked by something, and then I died, and I said, wow, this game is not as fun as it should be. And that's not to say that some people might not have a good time with it. I just really did not enjoy the game, which is why it makes the worst category. A game that you've probably never heard of, Cluster Truck, is a platformer where you jump from semi-truck to semi-truck and try to make it to the finish line. Is it, a real game changer? Is it the most innovative idea we've ever seen in gaming? No, but it's a lot of fun. The game looks rather nice. All the levels are built to look unique, and there's a lot of complex, ideas and problem solving you got to put into the game. It's a rather unique platformer because, again, you're jumping from moving semi-truck to moving semi-truck. Again, it's nothing, completely game-changing. It's nothing, pivotal. It's not going to shift the focus of, game developers to be like, we need to copy Cluster Truck. But it's a nice, fun time killer game, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So that really, that's the only reason it's on here. It's fun. I mean, what else do you want in a game? We went from a good game about vehicles to a bad game about vehicles. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about Wreckfest. Wreckfest is a game centered around demolition derbies, those things where you take a car that you're in and you try to drive into another car as hard as you possibly can. That sounds like it would translate to a video game very, very well, right? wrong. And I actually do think the idea is good and it would translate to a video game very well. I just think the developers of Wreckfest tried to do a little too much. The loading times are super long on this game. The graphics are nothing amazing, and the gameplay is rather bad. Like, it's so repetitive. I did a demolition derby and it took me like 5 minutes to finish it because it was just driving around in circles trying to hit the other person who's trying to not get hit, and you're just avoiding each other and nothing's happening. There's also races you can do which are weird and hard to win, and maybe I just don't like racing games, but this one felt especially bad. I don't know, I just felt rather disappointed. There was a lot of potential for Wreckfest, and it just wasn't very good. I remember watching an RT game stream where he played Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and I remember thinking, man, that game would be so fun, but I bet it's probably only on PC. That's the only thing that could run it, and my $300 laptop can never do that. But I decided to look on Xbox, and what do I see? I see Totally Accurate Battle Simulator on there. I immediately get it. I say, all right, this I gotta play, and boy, I do not regret it. In the same vein as Cluster Truck, there's nothing very complex about this game. It is very much just you throw your little soldiers on the battlefield, and you watch as these little guys fly into the air because you put a woolly mammoth in there too, and they're just like eating their shit. It felt like one of those games that like I would only be able to play on PC, and then I was able to play it on Xbox, and it was on Game Pass, and I was just very happy about that because there's a lot of that happening now. I know City Skylines, Planet Coaster are both on Xbox now, and I think both those games are still on Game Pass. But yeah, in the same vein as No Man's Sky, where No Man's Sky felt like a game that, should stay on PC, but these games, I thought they would stay on PC, but they made their way over to console, and they all translated over pretty well. So yeah, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator was a lot of fun. I recommend it. It's a good game. Fishing is rather simple. You take your rod, your big long rod. I bet you guys like big long rods, because God knows I do. You take your rod, you cast it, and then you wait. Then the fish bites it, and you reel it in. How come every fishing video game I play has to add 10 more steps in there that are so convoluted and stupid that it just makes me never want to play a fishing game again? The catch, carp, and coarse fishing is no different. This game was exhausting mentally to even try and figure out what was going on. You could cast multiple reels at once. I had no idea when a fish was biting. They made you wait like legitimate time increments for a fish to bite, which is like, I don't want to wait 10 minutes for a virtual fish to bite my line. I just want the fucking fish. Like, no fishing video game has ever been like simple, where it's just like you fish, you get the fish, nice job. Like, I have yet to find one of those. Yeah, no, overall this game was just confusing. It looked bad. The loading times were very long, and I'm very glad it was free. Destroy all humans. All right, the classic one, the old one that was available on the original Xbox. I remember playing it on the PS2. That game was so fun. And when it got remastered, I was very excited. But I didn't buy it right away. And then I saw it was on Game Pass, and I got even more excited. This game's just so fun. You are an alien, and your goal is to destroy all humans, hence the name. I had so much fun playing this game. There's a decent story to it, and overall it's just so wacky and stupid and fun. And maybe the nostalgia's getting to me because I love the PlayStation 2. That was maybe the best console of all time. The Tony Hawk's Underground games on there were so good. This is back in the day when you could rent video games, and like I could go to the Family Video. I could rent a couple PS2 games, and that would be my weekend there. I would be set. I could play Tony Hawk's Underground, and I could play Destroy All Humans, and that would be good. And then I would return them the following Monday, and then I could go again next weekend and get some more games. I sound like a boomer, I think, right now, describing the idea of renting video games to you, but like it was so nice being able to do that, and I miss the PlayStation 2, and this game just reminds me of it. It's on the best list. I don't know if this game was necessarily bad. I just was like not impressed at all, and I just didn't want to play it. I was a little confused, but basically the point of the game is you go around and you're like a hole in the ground and you eat stuff. And there's a story to it, I guess. There's a raccoon involved. I don't really care. The game was boring, and listen, there weren't any high expectations for Donut County, but you know, it was a game. I actually still to this day don't know why it was called Donut County, and I actually thought it was called Donut Country when I first downloaded it. So I was very disappointed to be downsized from a country to a county. Not your average shooter game. UPERHOT Mind Control Delete. Listen, if you know what UPERHOT is, great. If you don't, I guess I'll explain it. It's the VR game where whenever you move, time moves, and you have to take out all the enemies, and you have a gun, and it's awesome. It's rather well suited for VR because it's immersive. You move, time moves. It's great. But this version of it, this game on Xbox, is rather good too. And although rather repetitive, there's a very weird, very immersive story that unravels as you go through the game. And it's very enjoyable just, to shoot the bad guys and then they shatter into a bunch of pieces. That's the appeal of UPERHOT. And that's why I really like this game. It looks cool. It feels good to play. The levels are nice. It's just a very good game that I enjoyed playing a lot. How could it not be? How could it not be NBA 2K21? I'm biased here, but this is genuinely one of the worst games I've ever played. As a basketball fan, as somebody who has enjoyed NBA 2K games in the past, this is one of the worst games I've ever played. The gameplay mechanics are bad, it's glitchy, it's buggy, it's rather intrusive, it is just very much a ploy for you to spend money. It's so aggressive with its microtransactions that it's no wonder it goes on the Game Pass after like 2 months. It's available for you for free, but they really want you to spend money so that way you can get all the good stuff without having to work towards it. I very much fell into the trap of you either spend money on the game or you devote a lot of time to the game. And luckily for me, I went with the time route, but I genuinely don't know which one is more valuable. All I know is this game was really just not fun to play. Most of the time, it felt like a chore. Like it just didn't feel like basketball, which is, pretty bad for a game about basketball. I'll be sticking to Wii Sports Resort basketball from now on. Sorry, 2K, you are not getting another pretty penny out of me. And the best, last and definitely not least, Ori and the Blind Forest. This game has won a lot of awards for very good reason. It looks beautiful, just plain and simple. This is one of the prettiest looking games I've ever played. Every time I went, to a new area, I just felt like, wow, this game is awesome because it just looked amazing. The gameplay is very good. The levels, the different courses you have to traverse and everything is very fun. It's very unique, each one you do. The story it tells is very nice. I think it's a good story, even if it does set up a sequel. But yeah, no, I think the thing that gets me the most is just how beautiful it looks. I mean, look at it. How can you tell me this isn't a good game? The fact that this is made, available for free is very nice. It's just something that, I probably never would have played if it weren't on Game Pass. But the fact that it is means I got to enjoy a game that I normally wouldn't have. And I'm glad I did because it was a very, very good video game. And that's the end of the video. Do you have Xbox Game Pass? Are you on PlayStation? Do you get games for free? I don't know if you do, but let me know in the comments what you thought, what you think the best and worst games on Game Pass are, and let me know if you liked my list. Like I said earlier, please subscribe if you did enjoy the video. It lets me know that you want to see more videos like this, which I am very willing to do because I had a lot of fun making up this list and thinking of why I liked or disliked these games. But yeah, that's about all. I'll see you in the next one.